Cash is figuring out the new priest swag.
Man of the cloth. Cash of the cloth.
Cash of the cloth.
Let's see, this might be good. Might be too small.
Oh, it's just missing the white part or something?
I mean, I'll probably just have to get one for the custom shop. It looks like it's like here. Or at least it's like this. And then button
Why
the whole thing.
don't we dress up more for scenes?
I'm going to. I need to. For
You
mine.
might as well. It's one robe, it'd be fine.
I'll probably wear like white and like. Are you still filming?
No.
I'm filming now.
This is like what happens when you're, this is like life.
My name's Cash the Spade and I support Cash the Spade.
And then you back it up and you're like, maybe I'm being too selfish. Maybe we could work it out. Try again. And this time you get one more higher.
I want to take the priest robe off now.
Stop. Jeez, bro. Brother, I gotta wash that up. Oh, we've got the first full run of the 2 shows. This weekend we're gonna have 2 shows on Friday and Saturday. Oh boy, this looks... Need hope to do this. Yeah, I don't know. I'm worried for time, so I'm gonna stop recording, but I'll talk about it after. Me and Cash getting some Lord's food today. He's taking forever and he didn't even want to park by me.
Oh, I was scared to make that turn.
Have the first run of the show tonight, and yeah, like I showed a minute ago, we had lab with Stephanie Battenbland, which I will put her links in the description for all the socials and stuff. Go see one of her shows if you can. She's based in New York and she's just so amazing. But I'm really excited for the run tonight. I think it's going to be a great turnout. From what I heard, it's sold out. It's going to be how many the fire marshal will allow? 35 people, I think. Yeah, full on dinner party. I'm excited for tonight. I got to go in a few minutes. What else happened today? Nesben's album came out and Harry Styles' album came out. Have you ever seen them in the same room? Just makes you think. Done with the first 2 shows. It didn't feel like it was triple the amount of people. It was kind of the same amount of like weaving and just depending on other people's kinesthetic response to make way and to evolve with the story and to move around the space. With that many people, it's hard to get everybody to one place very quickly, so it's kind of a lot of clapping. Or I was happy to discover that got some more. I don't know. It's such a confusing art form to try and describe because you don't even really know what you're feeling exactly in the moment. So to then try and articulate afterwards is just a little like, you're just gonna have to be there tomorrow. She told us tonight before the show that we had so many people that they were going to maybe add a 3rd show on for both nights, but we didn't end up doing one tonight, so I don't know if they just axed it or if they knew we'd be a little too tired. I was fully sweating in the first loop. Like it just, there are so many bodies in there. It's hard also because it is such a short run. Like there's only been a week of rehearsals.
You were there for her.
And then
it's almost like a
there's gonna be 2 nights of 2 shows per night. Yeah, I don't know. People were really, really attentive tonight and respectful and obedient. Like they really took the space in. I have a bedroom scene where I'm kind of like, well, anyway. I'm kind of surprised that they're even letting us do it in the show. We spill liquid and stuff. Like, it's water, but like, it's a historic house. We're spilling on the carpet. I wanted to mention, just to give a little bit of context to what Stephanie did with us today in lab. First, we were in the Morgan Theater, and we went through different types of bodies, basically. So we started in an earth body, which is just extremely grounded. It moves as one cell, one organism. Your legs and your arms aren't very animated. It's mostly just a core thing, and you kind of just like roll around on the ground, basically. Like, it's very I don't even know. It's just earthy. I don't know how else to explain. And then we had lava bodies, which is just a lot heavier. It's moving thickly through the air. And we had wind bodies as well, which is a lot airier and lighter. And then along with those different states, we also had stuff like brushes, feathers, and clay. Feathers is just very lightly feathering, and brushing is more this stuff. We've got a lot of like this stuff. Just all really like spur of the moment and whatever your body's responding to, and not stifling any of those responses or reactions, just letting them flow through and finding their physical form through one of these different alleyways. And then along with those different actions that you can do through different bodies, she also gave us different intentions, like urgency, suspicion, and joy was really cool. She had everybody stand or sit where they were, and she slowly turned up each level of joy. So we started at a 0, somebody who's on the train next to you, you'd have no idea that they had joy in their heart, but they do. It's not really a visible one. And she turned it up to 1, 2, 3, 4. We're getting to 4. It's a little more tangible. Getting up to 6 or 7. Getting up to 6 or 7, I'm fully smiling, like laughing. I'm running around. I'm high-fiving everybody, just gleeful. And then once I'm getting to 8, 9, 10, I'm getting closer to like just crying, total elation. And then she would jump from 9 to 2 to 4 and just all around really play with it in intensities. And then after that, we broke into groups of 5 and we did our devised pieces, which were just 7 different beats that told the story. It was really cool to see everybody utilize the tools and to not reject it, but to receive it and try. this kind of art is really easy to make excuses as why not to do it. It's truly only out of uncomfortability. And by doing any of these kinds of exercises, whether it's that or like animal work or something, it's to get you out of your mind and into your body and into the space. Seriously beautiful. If anybody has a chance to go and see a concrete show, which is the company in New York that Stephanie works with right now, go see it. They've got shows in the summer. Immersive theater is one of the most plausible forms of media that could become popular. I just think in the future, people are only going to crave human connection even more. Having a show, performance, whatever you want to call it, experience that's that intimate and that professional and dialed, it truly is like you're living inside of a movie.
Jackie's what you call a swing half-breed. Singing a cow boogie in a stranger's way. Come a die, come a die,
It's so personalized and interactive that it's genuinely hard to beat if it's done well. And I think it's going to only become more of a rarity. We need people that can champion it and can speak about it, let people know that there's this different form of performance and that, there's something fun to go do on a weeknight in Logan, Utah, it's truly beautiful art. Only other thing that stands out from tonight is all of the scenes that we have throughout the show are things that we've made up within this week, all devised by us, and that leaves a lot of room to play with, but it also leaves a lot of room to make mistakes. I just have one line towards the beginning, and it's up to me to make it something that's impactful, but each night I've tried to do it a tiny bit of a different way, and it just hasn't been successful every single time, honestly. And tonight I tried to do something along the lines of I'm supposed to just point out Queen Cleopatra. That's the main thing. And I don't think I even said her name, and I just was kind of fumbling over my words. I forgot what I was going to say, so then there was a bit too long of a pause, and everyone in the room was kind of just what is he saying? Yeah, Stephanie had a good laugh at me during notes afterward, but it's okay. It just gives me the opportunity to write something better for tomorrow. In fact, I'm going to do it right now. Brutus, don't detract from, I don't know. So what I will say is, Brutus, let's not detract with negativity. Let's be gracious to our host, Queen Cleopatra. Brutus, let's not detract from our gracious host with the negativity. Thank our great Queen Cleopatra. Something like that. But luckily it's at the top of the show, so people forgot about it. Stephanie was really, really proud of us. I've not seen her that excited until now. We finished putting our costumes and stuff away downstairs, and we came up and we're sitting in the living room ready for notes, and she just came in and was so ecstatic and just told us how proud we should be, and that especially for our first show, it went so well. Tomorrow I think I have to go to work before the show, which is kind of a bust, but yeah. Anyway.
No, I'll have you. That's okay, I don't want it.
Oh! Daylight savings actually ruined me this morning. My grandma from Washington came to see the last iteration of the show, and so we came over to my parents' house for a little pizza night action. So that's all. After we finished striking the set and loading it up into people's cars and driving it all the way back up to the school till with daylight savings time, it was 1. After that, I went back to the cane house just to see if I had left anything there, because I don't know when I'll be able to get in there next. It's locked up 24/7. Stephanie Batten Bland was outside, just having a little drink and a smoke, and just standing there with Leslie, who is the wife of Brandon, who played Caesar. Brandon's an amazing performer, and she was an Ohio State tenured professor for many years, as well as performer at Punch Drunk. I did a presentation on them when I was a freshman, so it's interesting. an interesting full circle moment. Leslie and one of her friends who's a dancer, Cody, I can't remember his last name, came down after the show, and they so sincerely told us how much they enjoyed it and how impressed they were knowing the rehearsal schedule and all of our experience levels as well. So that was genuinely reassuring that a professional level, not only director, but somebody who casts and also a performer who can recognize. I don't know if that makes much sense. Anyway, I walked up and they were standing at the back door and offered me an American Spirit, you know. Nicotine is something that I've been really good about, and I haven't had any nicotine all of this year. And even the last few years, it's something that's very, very occasional because there was a point where I was obviously too heavy of a user, wasn't able to find moderation in things, you know, I wasn't able to have any control. But I hadn't had anything this year, and this genuinely felt like a moment where it was more of an opportunity to get to know somebody and to share a moment with them. One of the greatest conversations would have never been able to have had. It's an irreplaceable opportunity that I'm so grateful for Stephanie White for putting in place for her to come and teach all of us. And I don't know, it's such an insane, it was really, after the show closed, it became more and more apparent how much of a blessing it was to have been a part of it, hearing how much people talked about it and how much it affected them, how many people showed up and how fast word of mouth spread. Yeah, like I said in earlier footage, I've been editing today, but I just wanted to hit the button on things a little bit. I think I said earlier, I just was really impressed with people's adherence to the space and to the rules of the performance, leaving phones at the door, being attentive and engaged like it means the world. One of our test audiences, there was a couple girls who came in, immediately used their phones as a crutch, as all of us do, of course. But in that space, it was so out of place that it was jarring, honestly. And as a performer, I was like, oh, we need to make it feel more familial. We need to make it feel more like a party and not so awkward. And obviously it was a test audience, and we were probably nervous and giving them nervous energy, and thus reflecting back to my conversation with Stephanie. I was able to ask her if there was any catalysts in her career. I just wanted to know more about her. I feel like there needs to be a documentary about her, genuinely. Who knows? Maybe I'll be the one to do that. I really don't know. But she only had moved back to America in her 30s. It was maybe 10 years ago. I don't know. It's really hard to tell her age. She just realized that her name didn't carry the same weight as it did in Europe, and space just wasn't established or recognized at all. It just generally wasn't known. After this experience, it feels like it could be the future. She travels all across the globe right now, and another thing that was really, really beautiful about the experience is me and most of my peers in that show, a couple of them are new to the program, but a lot of us are extremely university brained and analytical, and we want to make the right choice and do the right thing because we know we're being watched, we know we're being not graded, but everything all the time is showing our skills, and it's kind of an audition 24/7. They're monitoring us, you know, as they're monitoring us and our progress. We're always trying to push the bar and push the right bar. It's really confusing. But to go from that into a space that was so abstract with somebody who is so free-spirited and soulful and creative, I couldn't believe some of the stuff she came up with metaphorically for us to walk up to the flowers, and as she's rearranging them and smelling them, I'm just imagining her fingers touching through the flowers onto my skin almost. So you see my, you know, I'll put the clip in, but
Thank you. Cleopatra!
Yes, darling Cece.
It just was so, I was like, wow, how did I not even think of that? I don't remember what I was doing before that. I don't even remember. Senseless and performative. And that was another thing that was really interesting. We have a moment where Cleopatra and I are in the dining room, and we watched her and Brandon do it a couple times, and just really felt what the kind of push and pull is between bodies and space and chase of it all. Being in stage acting at university, everything is proscenium, and it's in this ginormous picture frame, which is the stage. So your choices and your voice have to be a lot bigger than they ever need to be on film, or especially in real life, like that kind of show. She had to really strip some of us down as far as our choices and our subtlety. And I think we really needed it. It was just really cool. And it was a huge exercise in being able to laugh at yourself and be like, yeah, what was I doing? You know, like what I don't even know. It was so rad to see two people who completely trust in their creative space and their process and their tools and their bodies. When they did their little improv thing during class where they you know, kind of ran up the side of the VOMs, and Stephanie just rushed out the door, and all of us, you know, kinesthetically reacted to chase after her as Brandon threw his hat. Then just seeing them employ the tools that they had just been speaking about so freely and in front of so many people. It's cool what can happen when you trust uncomfortability and you trust saying yes to things that you're not 100% positive about. I personally need to double check myself when I think that I'm being authentic, because oftentimes I think that I am, but it's when I ask myself the question again, it's almost like another layer gets built off, and I'm like, oh no, like, come on, bro, like you would never react that way in real life. You would never move that way. Even if it's in the realm of dance, there's dance that's motivated by the story, or it's motivated by action or objective. And there's dance that's just dance for the sake of movement and dance for the sake of being performative. And the latter is extremely boring. And you can feel the difference. Stephanie was just kind of laughing at us, you know. What are you trying to do in that part? When you're in the worship room, what if you just kind of walk around a little bit? When we were doing this whole like up against the walls and stuff like that, like we had no reason to be doing that besides the fact that like the room was semi small and we could do it physically. Like, a lot was learned. I've been filming a little too long. I was trying to make this